Hello, everyone, and we are live with another exciting circuit stream workshop. I do just want to make sure before I continue on here, and as people are still making their way onto this workshop, can you all hear me and see me? I see Jacob in the chat, Louise. Hello, world. Hello, Gloria, Marco, Dayon, Abby, Rafid. Whoa, too many names going here at once. Nicola, Calvin, Christopher, Alex, Sherry, Tan, Lydia, Leah, Jeff. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on the Circuit Stream workshop and webinar. We've got a fairly big audience today. Super excited to kick this off with you all and with one of my colleagues here. And with all of our workshops and webinars, I love to ask, where are you all currently tuning in from? So let me know in the chat, where are you currently living? Where are you tuning in from? I myself, I'm in Calgary, Canada, Alberta. I see people from the US, UK, Canada, West Kelowna to be specific as well, Toronto, Vancouver, few from Bristol that I've seen, Pennsylvania in the US, Detroit, Toronto. So lots of North American folks. We've got people from the UK as well, as far out as Asia, if I'm not mistaken. I saw in the chat here too. Eddie Powers from Antarctica. Give him a shout, Antarctica. Well, hey, great international audience here today, and I really do love that and enjoy that about our Circuit Stream workshop and webinars here. So now, before I do continue on, AV check is all good. Everyone can hear me and see me. I do see Istanbul and Belgium in the chat. Welcome, Istanbul and Belgium as well, Argentina. Few housekeeping items. So to the right, you do see a chat box there. Feel free to toss in any comments, your LinkedIn profiles, whatever you'd like in the chat there. It's really yours to use as you wish. Now, beside the chat tab, to the right, there's a few tabs at the top. There's a questions tab. Now, if you do have any questions, please do toss them into the questions tab. It helps us organize the questions, what we haven't answered, what we need to get to at the end of this workshop in our Q&A session. So it really does help us a lot and make sure that we answer any and all questions that we can in this workshop. Now, beside the questions tab, there is a polls tab as well. And I'm going to be tossing in polls throughout this workshop and webinar just to gauge the experience of the audience here today. So if you'd like to give it a try, feel free to hop over to the polls tab. I'm going to publish a poll right now, and the poll is going to ask, what devices do you own? So it's going to have a few VR devices, augmented reality devices, phones. I know it doesn't have all the devices possible in there, but feel free to check out the polls tab, get familiar with it. I'll toss in a couple more throughout the workshop, but that's what you can expect that to look like. Now, with this workshop and webinar, sometimes you might hear little bubbles popping up with the chat or the questions. There is a little bell icon at the very bottom to the right of your screen. Feel free to mute your notification sounds if that bothers you. You can expand the screen to make it bigger as well. If you don't want to see the chat, you can remove the chat. So play around with it as you wish. But without further ado, let's kick this off. Let's get going here. Quick introductions. My name is Stefan. I work on the partnerships side here at Circuit Stream. I have over several years of experience in the tech industry, working with travel IT companies, learning management system providers, ERP and business integration platforms, and now in the beautiful world of real-time 3D technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Now, a little icebreaker fact about myself, and let me know in the chat if you've ever heard of water polo. I was a member of Water Polo Canada. I trained with the 2008 Beijing Olympic team. Didn't go to the Olympics. I was super young. But with all of those water polo skills I built, I was able to put it to use. I saved a drowning couple in Mexico. Saw them, currents took them away, pulled the lady in, went out for the guy. That's when the lifeguard came to help me. We both pulled the guy in. So great skills that I was able to put to use there. Now, today it's an honor and a pleasure to have my colleague, the Miss Nikisa Donnelly, join me for the technical portion of this workshop, where Nikisa is our instructor and VR AR developer here at Circuit Stream. She's a HoloLens expert, a Magic Leap professional, and a little icebreaker fact about Nikisa: she's occasionally part of a circus. And with that, we're very excited to introduce you all to augmented reality and creating a similar design to Pokemon Go altogether. So here's a little agenda for what we're going to cover today. I'm going to do an introduction of CircuitStream, the industry in general, Unity, which is one of the main platforms we'll be using. And that's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's say 15 minutes to be safe. Following that, I'm going to invite Nikisa onto the stage here. She's going to do the augmented reality deep dive, kicking off a project with you all that you can try and follow along with, or use this recording and the files afterwards to recreate your own augmented reality experience from scratch as well. Once Nikisa finishes that up, which will take about 45 minutes to an hour, I'll rejoin. I'm going to wrap things up with some resources. That'll take about 10 minutes, and then we're going to open it up for a live Q&A. I like to say it might be 15 minutes long. Usually it takes 30 minutes, depending on the questions we have. We do have a large audience as well. So to be safe, this workshop is going to be about an hour to an hour and a half. It is all recorded, so we will send the recording to you afterwards. It will replay right after this as well. And alongside the recording, we'll send you the project files and the resources we used for the projects today. And we will email these to you as soon as the workshop wraps up, maybe a couple of hours afterwards once we put together the recording and whatnot. But with that, who is CircuitStream? This is the introduction part. Who is CircuitStream? What is CircuitStream? Well, CircuitStream was founded in 2015 when we identified a gap in the demand for education relating to augmented reality and virtual reality. Now, our goal has always been to share a foundation of knowledge on the best tools, processes, and workflows for Unity, as well as XR design and development. Now, for those of you who don't know what XR stands for, it's an umbrella term for AR and VR. So XR is extended reality, and it captures the kind of market and industry as a whole: augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. And to date, we've helped over 40,000 learners to develop these highly sought after technical skills. So what we here at CircuitStream have going on is a global team of industry experts who are passionate about accelerating the augmented reality and virtual reality industry through education. And we have team members and instructors all over the world, which helps us to accommodate students across multiple time zones and geographies. Now, CircuitStream is also a Unity training and channel partner, and partners are approved based on their expertise, focus on quality education, and commitment to providing the highest level of education possible. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Unity, they have created one of the most extensive and robust development engines on the market, which I'll shed more light on very shortly. And our instructors maintain the highest level of certifications offered by Unity as well. Now, speaking of certifications, I'm very excited to also share that CircuitStream is one of the few educators out there in this space offering XR industry-specific certifications, but more on that later. Now, I'm also excited to share that we've been partnering with some of the most well-recognized educational institutions in the world. Our XR development with Unity course is now even more accessible to students throughout our university partners. And recently, we've started partnering with post-secondary institutions like the University of British Columbia, the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, the Talent Ladder powered by Indiana Wesleyan University, and the University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies. So with this, who have we actually worked with? Well, we've trained teams and professionals from some of the largest organizations in the world, such as VMware, Walmart, Hershey's, the chocolate company, even the US Navy, just to name a few. And we work with organizations large and small, right down to the individual learner as well. Opa, whoa, let's skip through there. One moment. Awesome. So with that, let's talk about the XR industry. If that last slide didn't give you a good idea who's adopting this technology, here's an overview of the industries that are currently employing XR. Organizations are adopting this technology to create efficiencies, further innovate, and in use cases for military, automotive, manufacturing industries. And immersive tech is helping to greatly reduce risk in this field. Now, this isn't just happening in a certain area or market. We're seeing interest and demand grow all over the world. But what does this look like? What does this growth look like for the overall industry? Well, Pricewaterhouse released a report back in 2019 maintaining that 23.5 million jobs worldwide will be using augmented or virtual reality by 2030 for training, collaboration, and to provide new digital experiences. Now, they've also said that VR and AR have the potential to add 1.5 trillion to the global economy by 2030. So, with that, those numbers and statistics are very impressive. But what does that mean for you potentially? Well, as you can see, there are a number of roles and titles that require XR experience, from developers and artists to project managers and quality assurance. And who knows, maybe your ideal role has yet to be invented. So, for all of you indie folks out there as well, the indie devs or artists, there's still a shortage of high quality content in the XR market and industry, waiting for you to enter that arena. So it means that now is probably one of the best times to be expanding your skill set and getting interested into the industry, if it is something you're passionate about. Currently, XR experience is in high demand, and this is exacerbated by the fact that job growth for AR and VR is continuing at a rapid pace. There's even new roles and titles regularly being introduced to the job market specific to AR and VR. Head of the Metaverse is one that I've seen on LinkedIn pop up ever since Facebook changed their name to Meta. And take a look at what happens when you have specifically, Unity skills in your repertoire. That's right. Burning Glass right here says and Burning Glass is a company that researches real-time job market analytics, found that on average, professionals with Unity skills are making around $20,000 more in salary than their counterparts who are unfamiliar with this tool. So what is Unity? Now, I'm going to toss in a poll here asking you all if you know about Unity. So the poll's going to ask, how much experience do you have with Unity on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 being, I've never heard of Unity before. What's Unity? Tell me more, Steph. 10 being, I'm the Jedi Master, the Chuck Norris, an expert in Unity. So feel free and please do navigate to the polls tab here. I'm going to publish the poll right now, and I'd love to know 0 to 10, how much experience do you have with Unity? 0, I've never heard of Unity before. 10, that again, you're the master of Unity. You can join us and teach some of our programs as well. So taking a look at the poll here, looks like we do have quite a few beginners, ranging from 0, 1, 2, and 3, few mid-level folks, and then we've got a few expert ones as well in the audience. So great to have you all here today with us. Super excited to show you all more about Unity, having Akisa show you more about Unity and creating your AR experience as well. But for those of you who said 0, what is Unity? Unity is a free 3D development engine for building games, simulations, and experiences. It's the easiest way to begin making apps, games, and experiences for XR, gaming, simulations, whatever it may be, similar to the Unreal Engine for some folks who have heard about the Unreal Engine as well. So with this, we know that Unity is used to create over 60% of the world's AR and VR content in the market today, and is also responsible for an enormous share of the broader content and application markets. In fact, apps developed in Unity are downloaded about 3 billion times on a monthly basis. And their software is, by and large, borderless and can be used pretty much anywhere in the world, bringing a powerful creation tool to creators and innovators all over the globe. Now, this engine isn't powered by gas or coal, but it's actually powered by your ideas and creativity. And using its tools, interface, and incredibly broad scope of functionality, you would build your idea inside an engine like Unity. And this is what the workflow looks like. Once you have an idea, you bring it into the engine like Unity. That's where you develop, you design it, you optimize it. Then you use an SDK, software developer kit, to then push it out to the relevant device you want it for. So it could be VR headsets, AR goggles, mobile phones, other types of devices out there. Really kind of limitless, if I could say so myself. Sounds pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward. Well, for those of you who have yet to download the free version of Unity or really get in there and familiarize yourself with it, Unity does have quite the learning curve to it. Now, there's lots of great educational resources out there. There's YouTube that you can check out, videos and blogs as well along the way. But if you're looking to rapidly upskill and learn best practices, then look no further than Circus Stream. So we here at Circus Stream have a kind of a fairly large catalog of courses and programs for anyone interested in getting into this technology here. Now, we recently launched our newest curriculum, the Introduction to Unity 3D Development, an 8-week course. The live instructor-led course focuses on Unity fundamentals and has students creating while they learn. And by the end of the course, they will have created and launched a full application. Now, the next round of cohorts are launching around November 29th, November 30th. And if you're looking for specific training in XR, VR, AR, we also have our XR development with Unity for developers and our interaction design and prototyping for XR designers. And our course offerings include programs meant for beginners, even those intermediate and expert level designers and developers. Now, from our structured flagship development and design courses to our one-on-one mentorship packages and sessions, we here at Circus Stream provide students and professionals with a pragmatic approach to education in a highly technical field, and we supplement this with accessible and ongoing support. And we offer these courses on an individual or group basis for any students and learners looking to attend these courses through a recognized post-secondary institution, which is something definitely to consider enrolling through one of our university partners. And with this, we have our first university partner that I want to share with you all today, the University of British Columbia Extended Learning. UBC will have cohorts beginning on November 16th. So about a week from now, followed by January 11th. And we've actually extended the deadline for our applications here till the end of day today for UBC. Now, similarly, we have cohorts that will be starting on the same dates for any students who are affiliated with the University of Toronto School for Continuing Studies. Extension of deadline for applications until end of day today as well. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to us or reply. We'll be happy to speak to that a little bit more with you as well. Now, the Talent Ladder, powered by IWU, will have their next cohort beginning on November 30th. And Nate will also have a cohort beginning on November 30th as well. And you can take a deeper look at the XR development with Unity courses being offered by these well-established universities and educational institutions by visiting their respective websites. And we will post those websites and links for you shortly. So feel free to click on those, and that's where you can find more information around it. Now, to take a deeper look at our course curriculums and share previews of some of the projects you would be creating during the XR development course, I do want to continue on to actually showing you what are you all going to learn here today, right? Now that you've learned a little bit about us, a little bit about Circus Stream, why are you all here today? Well, today we'll be showing you how Unity is used to build augmented reality applications. We're then going to cover major AR and VR development tools, how to track planes in augmented reality, how to place virtual objects on real environments, and answers to all your questions. So bring them all, toss them into the questions tab. Really helps us to filter through questions that may not have been answered. But with that, let's get the show on the road. I would love to invite my colleague Nikisa Donnelly onto the stage here, the queen of puns. Thank you for joining us, Nikisa.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Not so much the queen of puns, but I got a little something up my sleeve. No, I
Lovely.
saw that there was someone from Victoria in British Columbia. That's where I am. So hello. It was going so fast. I don't know who you are, but I know you're out there. I know you are.
We seeing you. We
There's
seeing you.
dozens of them.
Perfect. Well, hey, you're all in great hands. Nikisa is going to take about 45 minutes to an hour to introduce you all to augmented reality, opening up Unity, building your first AR project in Unity. For those experts out there, toss in your questions in the questions tabs as well. After Nikisa is done in about 45 minutes to an hour, we will then, I'll rejoin, wrap things up, and we'll open it up for the in-depth Q&A session at the very end. But take it away, Nikisa. You're all in great hands.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, before we get started with any of the development stuff, we need to understand the problem. And one of my engineering professors, he always told me, if you can draw a picture of it, you can solve it. So let's draw a picture of it. Let me share my screen here. And this is the problem that we have. So we have, and excuse my poor artiste drawings here, but we'll see what we can do. We have a phone. No, you know what? Let's do it the other way. Let's do it this way. We have a phone here. We have a phone and we have a screen. Sorry, my hands are a little bit shaky. I've had too much caffeine here. And then we have a table. Doop, 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 doop. There's the table. And this is a plane. So what we want to do is we want to detect a swipe from starting point to end point to throw a ball. And this ball pew, will hit something right in here, right on a plane, right on this plane. So this little Pokeball is going to go way over there once we've detected a swipe on the screen. And then we have to detect a plane on a horizontal surface for placing a monsters. Now, since Pokemon Go is a trademark, we're going to call this Monster Go for monsters. So now that we have a picture of it, we are going to dive right into the development. And let's minimize this. And here we are. This is the Unity Hub that we will be working with. So let's create a brand new project because we're going to make this from scratchy scratch. Let's go to a new, and I'll be using 2020.3.8. I like 3.8 because 8 is my, or Floor Monsters, TM. Oh, yes, Floor Monsters, TM. Let's call it Floor Monster Go. And this will be a regular 3D template. Now I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but have no fear, newbies, because I am with you, young Padawans. I was here. I was in your shoes once upon a time. You can follow along, but I will be going quickly, very quickly, quick like a bunny. So, we'll call this Floor Monster Go, and we'll create this in, this is a Falling with Style. Now I've created a intro to Pokemon Go. There it is. Intro to Pokemon Go, and you will get this repository once this is done. So let's click on that create button. And soon we will be welcomed with our brand new best friend. You know, there was a time a few months ago where I got a concussion because a can was thrown at my head. But I'm okay though. I'm okay because luckily it was just a soft drink. Grown. Oh, of course I'm okay. It wasn't so depressing. Get it? Get it? Soda pressing? Soda pressing? Anyways, excuse me. So hello, welcome to the Unity interface. This will be your brand new best friend for all of your XR journeys. So let's just have a brief introduction. Over to the left-hand side, we have the hierarchy, which is a list of all the things that will be living in our scene, in our world. And over to the right-hand side is the inspector, which will inspect one of these things in the hierarchy that's highlighted blue. This is called a game object. So these are game objects. We have a main camera, we have a directional light, we have all these things. If I go to the game tab, this is what the game sees. Now we see nothing. We see an empty sky and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this all up and ready to use AR Foundation, which has, all of our AR capabilities. And it talks to both iOS and Android. So I'll be demonstrating on an Android phone. I can demonstrate on iOS, but it's illegal. And this is recorded and I will be arrested by the Apple police. Let's hope that doesn't work. Or let's just... I've done it before, but don't tell anyone. Oh God. Apple, don't play nice. So let's get AR Foundation all up and ready to go. So let's go up to the Windows and the package manager. And we're not going to look in the project. We are going to look in the Unity registry. So the Unity registry, and we're looking for AR Foundation, that lovely AR Foundation right there, and click on Install. So since it's getting to be colder now, what do you call a snowman that has a temper tantrum? No, man. He's having a meltdown. Chrissy, you got it. So now that we have AR Foundation set up, we are either going to use AR Core or AR Kit. AR Core is for Android. These are the droids you're looking for. AR Kit is for iOS. I did tell you the joke, Nick. So we're going to download AR Core because I will be using an Android phone. Again, that's AR Core for Android, AR Kit for iOS. I'm going to use AR Core. So clicking on that and clicking on Install. And wait for that to install. Someone once told me that foxes were animals that had dog hardware but cat software. I don't know why that's relevant, but it is. So now that we have Foundation all set up and ready to go, let's make our scene into an AR scene. So over in the hierarchy, right in the left-hand side, I'm going to right-click in the empty space here, go to XR, and we're going to create two game objects here. We're going to create an AR session, and I'm going to right-click, go to XR, and create an AR session origin. Again, that is two game objects, right-clicking, going to XR, AR session, right-clicking, XR, AR session origin. So what are these things? What are these things? An AR session is basically controls the life cycle of your session. If you enable and disable this game object, it starts and stops the session respectively. Now, the AR session origin is fascinating. Oh, so fascinating. The AR session origin. Well, okay. First, let's back up. Let's look at a 3D application. A 3D application is in Cartesian space. So it's in X, Y, Z. Sorry, X, Y, Z. X is in the red, Y is the green, blue is the Z. So we are in Cartesian coordinates. And we can see that in the transform up here, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 is the origin of this world, right? Origin of a 3D world. So we always know where the origin of a 3D world is, or a VR world. It's always at 0, 0, 0. But when we go into AR, where's the origin again? Is the origin the center of your room? Is the origin the center of your city? Is the origin the center of Earth? We don't know where 0 is. So what the AR session origin does is it does all these matrix calculations and makes sure that the origin of this world is always going to be the camera, the AR camera. In other words, your phone. Your phone is at 000. Isn't that clever? It's so clever. So now that we have an AR camera, let's delete the main camera from our hierarchy. Control delete. There we go. Now, we see an asterisk right there. So what is a very important lesson that we've learned from Nintendo? Everything not saved will be lost. So, save your scene. Control S. And now that little asterisk is gone. We do not recommend blowing on the cartridge and smashing it back in. Oh my God. I've been playing Fallout 4 recently, and I swear that saving has gotten me so many times. So save religiously. Save it. Save it. It is a reflex. It should be a reflex. So now that our scene is all set up and ready to go, we need to, let's go back to our drawing. Oh, this is the drawing, right? We need to detect a plane. So let's get AR Foundation to detect a plane on the AR session origin. I'm going to add a component and add something called an AR plane manager. AR plane manager right there. So the detection mode, I'm going to click on this everything, go to nothing and click on horizontal. We only want to detect horizontal planes because we don't want our monsters spawning on a wall. That'd be a little strange now, wouldn't it? So it's only going to be a horizontal. So next thing that I'm going to do is import some assets. I'm going to go to assets, import custom package, and we're going to look at some Pokemon Go. Now, don't worry, you can find these assets in the Unity asset store, and you can find monsters off of the Unity asset store as well. Oh, thank you for my voice modulation. I have a background in music, so I can appreciate melodious sounds. Oh, ho, ho. So AR Pokemon Go, these are the assets that I'm going to import. Clicking on import, we want all these things, so make sure that they are all checked and import. So let's look at the picture again. The picture, we need a ball and we also need a monster. A monster. So we have in here some prefabs. We have a ball and we have a monster and we have some prefabs. We have a monster and a Pokeball. Ooh, why? So this usually happens because, there we go. These should be, English, these should be. Oh my God. Standard shaders. There we go. There's the Pokeball. Let's look at the prefabs. Pokeball. Ooh, look at the prefab. Look at the Pokeball. Now you can find these things up in the asset store. In the Unity asset store. And you can also create these assets using Blender, or, you could look at TurboSquid, you could look at CG Trader, you can get these assets. You could also just use a sphere. You could just, straight up use a sphere. So on this Pokeball, we have some components here that the inspector is inspecting. So we're going to add another component, add a rigid body. A rigid body is basically the thing that allows this game object to feel Newtonian forces. In other words, gravity. The pink assets, these are pink because there is a hidden internal shader. So let's do a change here. Let's save. There we go. And it's still pink. That doesn't matter because we can see it. Then let's look at the monster prefab. Double click on the monster. And there he is. Oh, look at that. Let's remove this script. We will be writing a new script. So we have a monster right up here. Ooh, look at that. He's so cute, so furry. So what we're going to do is we are also going to add another component and add a rigid body on that guy. Oh, it already has a rigid body. Never mind. He has a rigid body. So we have a box collider that is trigger and a rigid body that is kinematic. So what do these things mean? Using gravity means that it will feel the forces of gravity and feel other forces applied to it. Remember, Newtonian forces. What's rule numero trois? Numero trois. Oh my God. How many languages are there in this? 3. There's 3 languages. Yes. So every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Yes. Thank you. Efrain. I will refrain from pronouncing that name again because I will butcher it. Effie. Okay, I'll just call you Effie. So, yes, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So when this body is kinematic, it will no longer feel its reaction, those forces that are reacting to it. However, it can exert forces on other game objects. And that is a rigid body using gravity and is kinematic. So let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the scripts. I'm going to right click and create a brand new folder here. And this will be for my scripts. We will create 3 scripts. One will be for spawning this guy, spawning the monster. One will be for the ball, and one will be for the swiping. Swiper, yes, swiping. So let's create a script. Because remember, we have some problems to solve here. Right in here. So we have to swipe on the screen, swipe on the phone to instantiate a ball. Instantiate means just make the thing be. Like, let there be light and there is light. And then this ball has to travel a certain amount, has to travel a distance at a certain velocity. And then we have to destroy the monster. Right? Get it? Got it? Good. Now I'm going to go through this real fast, but do not worry. Don't fear. Have no fear. There will be a recording. And if you are finding yourself having trouble with the scripting part, don't worry as well, because we got you covered. We got an intro to C#. We have an intro to C# class for you guys to get your C# scripts all up and ready to go. There it is. Thank you, Steph. So first things first, let's create a monster generator. I'm going to right click in the script, go to create C# script, and this will be a monster generator. That's monster generator. Let's double click to open that up. And of course it's on my thing there on my other screen. All right, cool. Can everyone see this? Everyone can see it? Yes. 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 Okay, cool. Cool. So we need that AR plane manager. So we have the start method. Now these things are called methods. They're just little blocks of code that run whatever that's inside them. And everything is contained in a class, which is basically just like your blueprints. It's basically like the DNA of your project. It has all these little bits and pieces of code that run for these things. Ooh, good guess, Cedric. Get component in children. We are going to use our very good friend get component for the AR plane manager. So let's have a public variable. But before we do that, we have to add some namespaces up here. We have to have using Unity engine dot xr dot ar foundation. And then we're going to use using Unity engine dot xr dot subsystems. So I'm going to create 2 game objects right at the front of this start, right here. So this is where we get into it. This is where we get into the fun part. This is where we get into the scripting. So we know that the goal of this, let's look back at our picture, that the goal of this script is to generate a monster when we detect a plane. And then we're going to, you know what? Let's hide the plane. Actually, you know what? Nah, let's not hide the plane. Let's see the planes. So we need to place a monster on a plane. We need to grab the planes that the AR plane manager has detected. So let's create a public AR plane manager, and this will be called the plane manager. Then let's do a public game object called the monster. Then we'll do a private bool to keep track of whether or not our monster is placed. So we're going to call this bool is monster placed. Yes, Cedric, we'll be using the plane manager when it detects a horizontal plane, get the AR trackable and place a monster on it. Exactly. Exactly. So right at the start, we're going to say monster placed is false. Now, for all of you coding monsters, you can actually condense this and place it right here. Equals false. And a semicolon. So in C#, a semicolon is basically a period. You know, in the English language, you end your sentences with a period. We end our sentences in C# with a semicolon. Not a colon, a semicolon. Now we're going to go into the update. Let's delete this. The update runs every single frame. Every frame this update is running. So it's useful for us to update variables. So what we're going to do is we're going to detect all of the planes that the airplane has tracked, and then we're going to place a monster on one. So we're going to use a for each loop. For each AR plane. We'll call this plane in the plane manager dot trackables. And we want the curly brackets. We want those curly fries, curly boys, and each curly boy needs a friend. So we want to contain these things for us inside of this for each loop. So we are going to say is, or we're going to have an if statement. So if, lowercase I, if not is monster placed, so monster places is true or false, and the plane dot alignment, if this is a plane alignment dot horizontal up, so he's standing up, then we're going to say that is placed monster will equal true, and we are going to instantiate Curly boys. I love calling them curly boys. Every curly boy needs a friend. Don't forget their friends. So, instantiate. And what are we instantiating? We are instantiating the monster. Do the monster mash. It's always Halloween in my brain. Monster. And where are we instantiating? We are instantiating at the plane dot transform dot position. And what rotation? We're just going to have it as 0 rotation. Quaternion dot identity. And there we go. There we go. Now, how do you rewind? You can rewind once this is done. Yes, Max can run these codes. This code, not these codes. A quaternion is just a rotation. So a quaternion, if we want to dive deep into it, is it has an imaginary number in it. And imaginary numbers are useful for us when we are describing things in 4 dimensions, which are rotations. So for describe rotations in 4 dimensions instead of 3, we don't suffer from something called gimbal lock, which is when it rotates to 180 degrees and then after 180 degrees, it's like, wait a minute, is this 1 or 181? Yeah. So that's what a quaternion is. It has X, Y, Z, and W. Yes, AR Foundation is taking care of the plane tracking. So we have the monster generator. Let's attach it to the AR session origin. And drag and drop. And there we go. So let's drag the AR plane manager from there to there. Boop. And then the monster prefab, monster to there. Boop. And there we go. There we solved our very first problem. Let's look at the thing again. So we've solved one problem. We've solved this problem. Generating the monster on top of a prefab. Or not a prefab, a plane. The monster is a prefab. So now we get on to the fun part. We get on to the swiping. Swiping, yes, swiping. So I'm going to introduce you guys to another very common script called a game manager. I'm going to right click, create a script, and this will be the game manager. Capital G, capital M. Now, when you are naming your scripts, do not have a space in them. That's bad. It's so bad. No spaces. No space for you. Or me. Game manager. Now, watch what happens when I hit enter. Boom. It has a gear icon. Why? That is because the script game manager is so common, it has its own icon. It's still a script, but it just has its own special icon. We're going to attach this game manager onto the AR session origin, onto 000. And then let's open this up. So the task of this is to detect a swipe. And then once we have a swipe, we will throw a ball. So let's go into the update and let's start to detect a swipe. Now, when we are swiping, there's 2 things that happen. Two things that happen. Let's go back to my A Power Mirror so I can draw for you guys. And eventually, hold on, it's thinking. Ah. Never mind. Let's use paint. So we have a screen, right? So we have a screen and we have a starting point right in here. You know what? Let's starting point right here. And then we swipe up and this is the end point. Now, these things have phases because here we have just begun to touch the screen. And now here we have ended. If you can read that, we have ended the touch. So these are touch phases. We have a touch phase begun and touch phase ended. Now what we have to do is we have to find out how fast we were swiping. So who remembers what the formula for velocity is? V equals, yes, it's a rate of change. V equals D over T. Yes, D over delta T, actually. Delta D over delta D, delta T. dy dx. Oh, you guys are so good. Yes. Let's get into subfactorials. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that today. But what we have to do is now we have to get the distance between these two things, divided it by the time that it took between, and then we'll get the velocity of our finger. And we're going to apply that velocity to the rigid body of the ball. Boom. We're almost halfway there. It's okay. I like to ask questions, Kelsey. We are almost halfway there. You do not have to import a library for interaction and gestures, although if you do want to, you can use, there was one that's free. Oh, I forget what it's called, but there is one. There is one. There is one. So now that we have this problem all set up and ready to go, let's do it in code. So now let's take a look at what we're going to do. So in the update, we're going to see if input dot touch count, if input dot touch count does not equal 1, what are we going to do? We're just going to return, we're going to vamos out of this thing, because if we don't have a touch greater than 1, that means we're not touching it at all and we're not going to do the thing. Not going to do it. If there is one, else, I don't need to write an else because we're just going to return. We're going to save that touch. Var touch equals input dot get touch, and touch 0. The very first touch on our screen. So now what we're going to do, let's go back to our drawing, is we have to check to see if that touch phase has begun. So we'll say if touch, lowercase t for that variable, touch dot phase equals touch phase dot began. There it is, touch phase dot began. Then what we're going to do is we need to save that very first start position. So let's go all the way to the top here and let's do a private. Now, is this going to be a vector 3 or a vector 2? This will be a vector 2 for x and y, because on our phone here we have an x, we have a y. So it's going to be a vector 2, and this we'll call this the start swipe position. And then we, of course, need that private float for the start swipe time. That's what we're going to do when we have the touch phase dot began. So touch phase dot began, start swipe position equals touch dot position. Boom, there we go. Now we need to save the time. Start swipe time equals time dot time. Now let's do an else if. There's a space between else and if. Now I know I'm going through this very quickly. I'm going through this really, really quickly. But don't fear. We got you. We got an intro to C#. that you can follow along and have your skills up and ready to go for XR development. Yes, John, all packages will be downloadable in this. You can also just use a sphere if you want. So we'll have an else if here. And this else if will be, let's take a look at their phase. Phase ended. This is the next thing that we're going to do. So else if touch dot phase equals touch phase dot ended. Now, this is where we're going to get the velocity of the swipe. So here we're going to say var var distance equals touch dot position minus, right? Minus the start swipe position. And we're just going to look at the dot magnitude. We're not looking at the direction just yet. The direction will be determined when we actually throw the ball. Now what we'll do is we'll take that delta t, delta time, and this will equal time dot time minus. So time dot time is basically just the time at the beginning of this frame. So time dot time minus the start swipe position, like so. And now, position, start swipe time. There we go. And now this is where we're going to calculate velocity. We'll do var velocity There's a joke in there about a velociraptor. That's why I paused. I'm trying to think of it, but it's not coming to me. Oh God, guys, help me. The joke is hiding in the jungle, in the tall grass. In the Precambrian. So here's where we're going to use that distance divided by time. So velocity equals distance divided by delta time. And there we get the velocity. So let's say, now what we're going to do is we're going to throw a ball and we're going to send it that velocity. We haven't created this, so let's create it. Let's create a brand new method. We'll have a public void throw ball. And we're going to send it a parameter. We're going to send it a float. Float velocity. And this is where things are going to get real interesting. Real interesting. So what we have to do is we have to first find the position of where we're going to throw the ball, where the ball is going to be. So the ball is going to be right in front of the position of the camera and forward a little bit. And that's it. It's real simple. So var position will equal the camera dot transform camera dot main dot transform dot position. And it'll be forward a little bit. So it'll be plus. This is a position. It'll be a vector 3. And this will be the camera dot main dot transform dot forward. We're going to move it forward a little bit. Times 0.5f. Now what we're going to do is we're going to instantiate the ball. So we need a prefab up here. We'll do a public rigid body, and this will be the Pokeball prefab. So now we are going to make the thing be. We're going to instantiate the ball. Var ball equals instantiate. And what are we instantiating? Pokeball prefab at position. And let's say it'll just be the camera transform dot rotation. So dot main dot transform dot rotation. Now what we have to do is we have to apply the velocity in a certain direction, right? Wait a minute, you guys have jokes? If a triceratops gores a diplodocus in half, there is bound to be a velociraptor attending the carcass. Huh. Yes. Yes, David, we have to take in the direction as well. So, to determine the direction of the ball, you would need to work out the angle, but we're actually going to simplify this a little bit more. We are just going to have a random rotation on this guy. We are going to apply a spin, but that spinning will not affect the curve. Velociraptor equals Diplodocus divided by Triceratops. Oh my god! That's brilliant! Diplodocus. I wonder if it would make a good diplomat. Dinosaur diplomat. So let's have a random angular velocity. So we'll do ball dot angular velocity. There it is, angular velocity. And this will be a random inside unit sphere. Let's do something like that. Times a random dot range. And this will just confine the randomness to a certain range of, let's say, 0.5 f in q. There we go. Now we have to get the direction that we are going to throw the ball in. The ball is just going to be thrown forward. So we'll do var direction will equal a vector 3 dot rotate towards. And what are we rotating towards? The camera dot main dot transform dot forward. And what are we rotating around? We'll use our left hand rule, stick our thumb up, and we're rotating that way. So we'll do a vector 3 dot up. And by how much? It's float velocity. We'll do a math f point degrees to radians. And we will multiply this by 30 for an angle correction and 0. So that's the direction that we are going to be throwing the ball in. So we'll be throwing forward. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply that velocity that we've already calculated by our fingers to the ball. Ball dot velocity equals, and now we have to multiply the direction we're going in multiplied by the velocity that we have there. And then you know what? Let's multiply this by a very small factor because that'll be super fast. 0.01 or 0.1f. Magic number. I know that that's going to be a super big number right in there. So now that we have that, now we have to solve catching the monster. Where's my picture? There it is. Now we have to solve for when the ball hits the monster somewhere around here. So, is that making sense so far? Yes, I should make it a variable, but this is a short workshop. So it all makes sense so far, right? Not any sense. Oh dear. But do you understand the picture though? Do you understand the lovely picture? Does the picture make sense? Yes? Okay. Okay. So far what we have is we have the generate monster script, which is right there. And then what we have is we have the game manager on the AR session origin. Now what we need to do is we need to solve for when this ball hits the monster. When this ball hits the monster. So what are we going to do? We are going to tag. Yes, we have to detect a collision. That's exactly what we have to do. So we're going to tag this as, or actually we're going to tag this monster as monster right there. Don't forget to save your scene. Yes. Yes. I'm going to right click and we are going to use on collision enter. Great job, Eric. Right click, create, and this will be the all script. So let's double click to open that up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a, delete this update, we don't need that. Let's delete this comment, we don't need that. But we'll do a private void on collision enter. So we'll say if collision.gameObject.compare tag, if this is monster, we're just going to destroy the monster. Destroy the collision.gameObject. Now, if you are wanting to expand on this workshop, there will be a recorded tutorial all on Pokemon Go and creating something a little bit more functional than this. And there we go. So let's delete this. Let's save the script. Attach it to the ball. Pokeball right there. Add component, add the ball script. Save. There we go. Let's add the monster. Let's uncheck is trigger and uncheck is kinematic. You know what? Let's have it not use gravity. Let's have it like float around a little bit. That'd be pretty fun. So we have here, we have the Pokeball prefab, drag and drop. Drag and drop. Now, here comes the hard part. Here comes test in the build. Now, in order to build onto this Android phone, your Android phone must be in developer mode. So you can go do that in the settings, in about phone. In about phone, and then you have to like tap on developer settings or like tap on this about something like 7 times and blah, 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 and do all the things. And there we go. Plug it in by USB. Ba-ba-da-da. You hear that lovely sound. Now what we're going to do is we are going to build this scene. Let's save the scene. Do we have all the things? We do not have all the things. Well, yeah, let's create a prefab. Let's create another prefab here. I'm going to right click, create a, actually, I'm going to right click in the hierarchy, go to create empty, and this will be an AR plane. AR plane. Now I'm going to add component, add a mesh filter, add component, add a mesh collider, add a mesh renderer, and add an AR plane, add another AR plane mesh visualizer. This is something that we want to do when we are detecting planes. What is the workspace called? Unity. This is Unity. It's Joe Biden's favorite. So we have an AR plane. Let's make this one into a prefab right here. And you know what? Let's put a material on this thing. Let's do a dark material. Let's do this material. Or like, let's do this one, spatial mapping. So it'll be a grid right there. And save. No, since I've created this as a prefab, I'm going to delete it from the hierarchy and attach it to my AR plane. And there we go. Okay, so save your scene. Save your scene. Duh. Material. So these are my dark materials. You know, I had a textbook that was electromagnetics, the dark art. And I was like, who created this? At the end of the day, we're all wizards. Created something. So let's go to window. Nope, I lied. Let's go to edit and project settings. And let's look at the Android settings right here. So we're going to remove Vulkan. This is the build settings now, the build settings thing. So I'm going to remove Vulkan. Vulkan does not live long and prosper. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way down. I'm going to change this API level to level 24. That's the lowest with AR foundation or AR capabilities. Next, I'm going to change the scripting background to IL2CPP. And this is very important. This is muy importante. You're going to change the scripting backend to IL2CPP. And then you're going to check ARM64. ARM64. So that's all done. That's all good. Good to go. Let's close that. Let's go into our build settings, file build settings. Let's click on add open scene and switch it to Android. Switch platform. This is it, guys. This is it. What do you call a lazy kangaroo? A pouch potato. What did the pirate say when he turned 80? Aye, matey. Okay, so now that we have this, let's click refresh. And there's my Samsung. Let's click on build and run. New folder. Builds. Double click. Let's call this floor monster go. Save. And then we wait. We wait and wait. Will it get past Gradle? That is the question, Eric. That is the question. Puns while you wait. Oh Jesus. Okay. You know, one of the best jokes I can think of was just quarantine. But if you don't get it, that's because it's an inside joke. Cringe. Quarantine is no joke. This is true. This is very true. Why are there no cats on Mars? It's because curiosity killed them all. No, it's just jokes. This is dark, cute, and funny. I had no idea that the programmers of Curiosity programmed it to like sing its own birthday song on its birthday, and it sung it all alone. Oh, God. Yes, I will show the code for the game manager. There we go. Oh, I forgot to check. Oh, I totally forgot to check. Oh, no. Oh, no, this isn't going to work. I forgot to tag the main camera as the main. Ah, I always forget something. But we'll see if it works. Here's the code again. Cancel the build. Okay. Cancel. Oh my God, this is going to take forever. More times for puns. What do you call a dog that does magic tricks? A labracadabrador. Okay, air camera. It is untagged. Let's tag this as the main camera and save the scene. And then we build. Build and run. Monster floor go. Okay. There we go. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. You know what I discovered? I was reading all about the Vikings, and you know what? They had a secret, like, language that they communicated with. You know what it was called? Norse code. You thought it was going to be real knowledge, but no. What do you call an undead pollinating insect? I don't know. Zombie. I'm keeping that one. No. Never trust anything that comes out of my mouth or any story that comes out of my mouth because chances are 8 times out of 10 it's going to be it's actually just going to be a pun. Let's see how this is doing. Oh, copy an APK package. Oh, oh, there it is. Oh, there she goes. Oh, there it is. Woo, woo. Oh, see, look. Okay, see? See? And then you bloop, 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 bloop. Cool. Cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. I think there was something I forgot to do, though. There's something else I forgot to do. Product settings. AR core. AR core. There we go. We didn't see no monsters. That's what I forgot. If you have a black screen, when you're doing development, 9 times out of 10, it will be because you forgot to check AR core. But that is it for today. Boom, Pokemon Go. And there we go. So I will invite Steph back onto the stage. Mr. Steph.
Hello, hello. I am here. Yes. Thank you, Nikisa, for putting that together. You gonna show us at the very end, or
Oh, yes.
yes. Well, we could. Do you need some time to set it up?
Nope.
Perfect.
All good.
Perfect. Let's check it out. Let's check out the final product.
The final one, we have to build it again.
Well, hey, I could start with the wrap up, and then
Yeah.
before the Q&A, let's show them
Okay.
let's show them what it looks like.
Okay.
Perfect. Awesome. Hey, thanks again, Nikisa. Really
No
appreciate it.
problem.
I know we covered so much content in such a little amount of time with you all here today in the audience. So, uh, don't worry. Take some time to pick this up. C sharp. That was the steepest learning curve for myself when I started learning all of this. Nikisa was my instructor back in the day as well. But she'll join back on in about 10 minutes. She's going to show us all what this kind of looks like with the little monster and the Pokeball she put together. But before I do wrap things up here, I'm going to take about 10 minutes to wrap it up. We're going to open it up for Q&A. I saw a lot of questions that haven't been answered in the questions tab here. But I would love to ask you all to go to the polls tab. I'm going to toss in a poll. And in the poll, let us know on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this workshop to others? Was this workshop good to present you the industry, give you an idea of how things work inside Unity, the coding, the assets, whatnot? Do let us know. I'm going to publish the poll here right now on a scale of 0 to 10. 0, you wouldn't tell a soul. You wouldn't tell anyone that you were at this workshop. 10, you would tell others. It really helps us know if we should put on these workshops each week, as we always do. If there's anything that we need to work on, bring Nikisa back as well for more workshops, and even myself to host these workshops. Do let us know in the polls tab. It really helps us to know whether or not we should continue hosting free workshops and webinars for VR, AR, MR, new products and tools out there. Really helps us out a lot. So with this, I'm going to take about 5-10 minutes to wrap it up. We'll bring Nikisa back to show the kind of final product, to get into the Q&A as well. Maxwell, we'll get Nikisa here very shortly. But if there are any of you looking to, create your own virtual reality experiences and environments, own augmented reality experiences like the one we did today with Nikisa, or using tools like Vuforia, and even learning more about C# scripting and coding to interact with the objects and experiences you've made, optimize your projects, we would love to have you with us in any of our courses and programs. And this is some of our students and where they've gone. I actually did see Michael Oakes in the audience here today. So Mike, if you're still there, give us a shout. Great to always see you on these workshops. But, we have people taking our courses and programs, becoming XR professionals with Kaleidoscope XR. We have people joining Unity Technologies as well, like Mike. Andrew, an XR developer at Cineconcerts. Jennifer Swan was accepted into Oculus's Launchpad program after our courses, received funding to continue working on her ideas. Kim Albin, she's a product designer turned XR design YouTuber. She's got a lot of great content for you all to check out on YouTube as well. And even Mike Waldron, from a Lockheed Martin engineer to an owner of a VR studio. So no matter what your interests are, we would love to help support those dreams of yours and your learning together. Now, again, we have a basic Unity 3D development course, and this isn't specific to AR VR, but general Unity and 3D application development. Now, this one is 8 weeks long. It meets twice a week, 2 1.5-hour sessions with open office hours available each week, and really walks you through creating your first real-time 3D application while focusing on Unity's key systems and functionalities. Now, for those of you who want to become XR developers, create your own VR and AR experiences from scratch, we have our flagship XR development with Unity course. This is 10 weeks long with up to 80 or 90 hours of live instruction. Similarly, it meets twice a week, 2 1.5-hour live sessions and classes, daily open office hours as well. It's flexible, part-time. You have lifetime access to your classes, recordings, to the instructors, our community. You get industry recognized badges and certificates at the very end to show for. Project-based, where we help you build several projects to add to your portfolio. And if you'd like the option, we do offer one-on-one private mentorship sessions to really focus on your specific learning needs. Now, again, if you're interested in joining through one of our university partners, we have the Indiana Wesleyan University XR Development with Unity course. This one starts on November 30th. Similarly, we have NATE's Continuing Education XR Development with Unity course. This one is also on November 30th as well. We have our UBC Extended Learning XR Development with Unity course, which starts on November 16th. Again, the deadline was extended until end of day today. So feel free to reach out to us. We would love to speak with you, see if it's a good fit, get you in if you're looking to do November 16th. If not, we've got January 11th in the new year ready to go as well if you need some time there. And the last one, the University of Toronto XR Development with Unity course, November 16th again. Deadline extended by the end of the day today or in the new year, January 11th, if you'd like to do something new and exciting in the new year in 2020 there. Now, for those of you who do not, want to become developers yourselves, getting into C# coding and scripting, because sometimes, some people just don't enjoy that. We have our interaction design and prototyping for XR course. This one is design oriented, focuses on user experience, no C# coding and scripting whatsoever. And it really focuses and dives into designing VR and AR experiences versus web and mobile applications. It's 3 hours of live instruction, 2.5-hour sessions as like the other courses, daily open office hours, certifications at the end as well, and one-on-one sessions. So if you're looking to become a XR designer, product manager in the space, whatever it may be, this one would be the one to check out. Some examples of what students are storyboarding and prototyping in this course, and kind of a look at how to approach prototyping XR experiences. This is what Michael, Vaishali, and Joshua kind of laid out in how they're approaching what developers might take on afterwards or build out as a team together. Now, for those of you here still, I also wanted to share a simple visual to give you an idea of the certification path for each of these beginner-friendly courses. The Introduction to Unity Development will reward you with a certificate of course completion and earn a Unity user certification. The XR Development with Unity will help you achieve CircuitStream's XR Developer certification and put you on track to complete the Associate Programmer certification through Unity. And lastly, one moment here. And lastly, the Interaction Design will help you achieve CircuitStream's Designer certification. Now, many of our students ask about what comes after graduation and how do you get involved in this space professionally. Well, we believe nothing says I'm an authority on the subject matter quite like having an established portfolio and relevant, well-recognized certifications to suit. And for anyone who's already quite advanced but are looking to add structure and external support to a capstone project, definitely take a look at our one-on-one membership and mentorship and support packages as well there. Now, personally, my favorite part about the education we provide has to be the CircuitStream community. It's a great place to network, collaborate, and participate in events like game jams. It's also where the enduring support for students and alumni reside. We have open office hours 5 times a week daily with our instructors that are available to existing students and our alumni. And this is great for continued learning, troubleshooting, and project support. Massive shout out to Lucy, our student experience coordinator, who is also mixing things up regularly in there with coffee hours, showcases, events like demo days, where students are invited to share their personal projects and stories as well. And the best part is with all of these courses that we offer, they're beginner friendly, so no experience required. Beginners have no fear. We're here to help you out. It is a steep learning curve, but we're here to support you and help you grow and create some exciting things yourself. Now, for hardware requirements, this is one to keep in mind here. You can use a Mac or Windows computer, and they're both Unity compatible. Windows are better tailored towards this type of development in MacBooks, but that's not to say that you can't work with a MacBook in the course and in the courses and programs, or to use Unity. And what about Androids or iPhones? Well, you can use an Android or iPhone. We recommend a VR device. It's not required. We do have workarounds around that, but those are the hardware requirements to look into. Now, this is all also platform agnostic. All of our programs are platform agnostic. So they're designed to provide you with the ability to launch applications on a multitude of devices, whether you prefer headsets like the Oculus Quest 2 or mobile devices like the Android or iPhone. Now, for those of you interested, we have our standard package, the standalone, one of our courses and programs, the development or the design course, with the exam for the development course at $39.50. We have payment plans available there as well. And the plus package as well, which includes the standalone course, potentially the Unity certification exam, and that 4-week C# scripting course we were sharing throughout this workshop today, an Oculus Quest 2 headset that comes with the bundle as well, and 10 hours of one-on-one sessions with one of our experts like Nikisa today to really focus on your projects or learning needs there. And that's at $49.50. Now, we do have payment plans and financing options as well. We have 3-month payment plans, 6-month payment plans, and 12-month payment plans available for anyone who does need that flexibility there. Now, if you're interested, reach out to any of our admissions team members, Roham, Leanne, Tyler, Christina, or Brendan. Anyone would be happy to support you, have a friendly chat, see what you're interested in building. If you're got questions for the course, they'll help answer it for you and really set you up and set those expectations that you need to be best prepared. Now, again, download a syllabus or apply now. We have our university partner links here that you can check out. Some of the team backstage will be able to share that in the chat here as well. Or you can reach out to check out our courses through our website, circusstream.com/learning as well. So thank you all. Let's bring back Nikisa to check out. Maybe that final project has come out. And if with that as well, we'll get to the Q&A sessions here. So let's I'm just gonna close this screen here. Hello, Miss Nikisa.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes, it is up and running.
Hey, nice. Let's check it out.
So there is Floor Monster Go. Made with Unity. So here we are. You can see me. You can see a plane right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now you won't be able to see a monster because it's right in front of me. Right in front of me. But let's see. If you nothing. Okay, but whoop.
Oh, throwing the Pokeballs.
There we go.
Nice. Thank you so much, Nikisa. That's great.
Yeah.
So we'll send you all the recordings, the files to work with afterwards as well. Reach out to us if you have any questions or stumped somewhere. Always happy to help. But Nikisa, thank you so much for putting this all together.
No
super
problem.
helpful as always. So lots of questions here we have in the questions tab. So let me just scroll down here. I'm going to start with the oldest ones in hopes that they're still kicking around here. But here's a question from Dolma. Dolma's asking, how do you see user experience designers play a role with AR and VR?
Oh, so important. There's so important. User experience is so important, especially because we're now developing, or we're not now developing, but like VR and AR is now centered. It's on the human. So it's human centered. So user experience is going to be so important because we have to design for humans. And what's the best way to do that? Have a human design for humans.
That is true. That's a good point.
Yeah. So user experience designers are going to be very key, very, very key in the VR AR role.
Perfect. Hopefully that helps, Dolma. Thank you for the insights, Nikisa. One's here from Sadre Scott. My apologies if I mispronounced it. So what are some free or paid resources available for AR? We have a lot of blogs and guides on our website. We host previous AR workshops around different topics. We can share our YouTube channel as well. But Nikisa, any AR resources that you find useful for this type of stuff?
Yeah, there is a really great developer on YouTube. He posts a whole bunch of different free videos. His name is Dilmer
Ah, he's
Valesios?
good. Yeah, I love Dilmer.
Dilmer,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so he's a beast, and he has all these tutorials on YouTube that are free.
Perfect. Yeah. So Dilmer, well, I'll find it. I'm gonna find it here and I'll share it with
Yeah.
you all. But I'm sure if you tell Dilmer VR AR, he's gonna pop up.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, he's a boss. Dilmer's a great guy as well.
Mhm.
So this one was from Louise. We didn't really dive into it. She was hoping to see, are you going to explain gamification and how to apply it to AR VR?
Mm.
Didn't today, but have you seen that? Maybe a quick example, Nikisa, that you've seen.
Yes. Quick example. Gamification and how to apply it to AR VR. A lot of VR training simulations, especially with what CircuitStream did in the past with Invista and Avenue Living. Those big projects all about gamifying, learning how to create something on a string-up machine. So gamification is basically just creating um, a flow and tasks that sort of trigger that resource, or like what's it called? The word is escaping. Reward, the reward center of your brain. Yes, dopamine. So gamification is all about having like a small set of tasks that trigger that reward center of your brain, right? So in VR, it's really, really important and really useful, especially for training. When you repeat these motions over and over and over again, you're still getting a reward.
Perfect. Yeah. So hopefully that helps out there. But yeah, there's so many different ways you can go about it to gamify things with AR, VR. AR, let's I don't know, some sort of health thing that you can do by trying to follow someone's steps that they took earlier in the day to try and beat the number of steps they had potentially in AR.
Yeah.
Just something came to mind, but no, lots of different things. Hopefully that helps, Louise. Let's see what else we got here. This one's from Andy. I saw Dan was typing, might have not hit enter there, but what's the best SDK for AR development inside Unity?
Ooh, depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, there's a few of them, right?
There's so many. There's an SDK that allows hand tracking on mobile devices. It's called Manamotion. That's a pretty nifty SDK, and you can like I used it to create like a little marionette in AR. So that was pretty cool. There is Niantic. Niantic just released this SDK.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Is that the light ship or is that something else?
yeah, Lightship.
Yeah, that's the next question I have here as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you got thoughts on the Niantic light ship? This one's from Tan.
I just downloaded it. I can't wait to start
Ah.
playing with it. Yes, new workshop in the works. Hot.
Perfect. Well, hey, I'd love to host another workshop with you, Nikisa, around the Lightship SDK.
Oh man,
So
that'd
you
be
just
sweet.
downloaded. Have you had the chance to play around with it just
I
yet?
have not yet. So
Okay.
my thoughts on it is that it's probably going to be quite groundbreaking for its AR GPS type of location, because they were keeping that technology pretty like close to home.
Right.
So we'll see how it works.
Workshop coming up. Be ready, everyone. Be
Oh
ready.
yeah.
Perfect. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Interesting question from Louise. If you could, how would you redesign or make Pokemon Go better?
I haven't played it in a while, but
Right? They did a really good job with it.
they did. They did. I would say more Poke Shops.
More fair
Yeah, more Poke Shops. I wanna find out where the nooks and crannies of all these little shops are.
Right.
So I want more of them. I want to learn more about the city that I'm in.
Perfect. Yeah. In
Yeah.
Victoria, right?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So we have another one here from Clarissa or Christy. What is the timeline process to complete a simple simulation of a trade show? So This depends,
Mhm.
how simple it is.
Mhm. How
But
big
what
your
are your
team is.
thoughts? Yeah.
It depends on a lot of stuff. It depends on,
Hmm.
like, yeah, how simple it is, like you said, and how big your team is, and budget.
Always comes down to that in the end, eh?
Yep, budget. I would say anywhere between 1 to 3 months if you have, like, a dedicated team.
Hmm. Maybe even short, depending on the simplicity of it. But yeah, 3 months is safe for like, let's say, a little more in-depth kind of trade show work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beauty. Hopefully that helps, Clarissa. Let's see. We've got one here from Jason. Jason's asking, what are some other creation tools to recommend in AR creation? I'm currently playing with Adobe Aero and designed my first AR experience.
Ooh,
However, AR adoption on devices is technically an issue, especially with .usdz files.
try Spark AR.
Spark AR, hey?
Yeah, try that one. Facebook or excuse me, Meta.
Yeah.
Meta is hosting a game jam all about using Spark AR. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm
So
just
that's
looking
something to
for
look
the link
into.
here. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
so
big
no,
one.
hopefully it was
It's going to be a big one.
yeah, hopefully I put the correct link in there. But yeah, check out Spark AR. Hopefully that helps there. Let's see what else we got. So this one's from Andrian. Andrian's asking, how good a computer setup do I need to run and learn Unity? Would I need to invest on a high-powered computer? The stronger, the better. GPU plays the biggest factor for rendering these experiences, from your computer to a device. So keep a focus, keep your eyes on a computer with high GPU. I don't know if it's changed. Like the GTX 1060 was the minimum requirements, but the stronger the better. GPUs, Windows tend to have stronger GPUs compared to Macs. That's why they're
Mm,
better tailored for it.
yeah.
So yeah, any insights on your end there, Nikisa?
Yes. So if your primary goal is to learn more about VR, you can't use a Mac.
Mhm.
You can't use a Mac for VR. Or you can, but it would be a little tricky.
Yeah,
So you can't like test things rapidly. You can't play things in VR on a Mac. So I definitely recommend like a PC, like a relatively high powered PC.
right. So hopefully that helps there, Andrian. Yeah, but the stronger the better. GPU, keep
Yeah.
that in mind. That's usually the thing to work with.
Yeah.
Perfect. And this one's from Gian. Gian's asking, do we have a program for 3D generalists that focus just on the XR portion? Yes, the XR development focuses on all XR things in Unity. So if you're a generalist looking to do XR, the XR development course. If you don't want to dive into the coding, the interaction design and prototyping for XR, those are the two kind of real VR AR focused ones that we have. And then the Unity 3D development course, that's the more 3D generalist side of things there.
Mm.
Okie dokie. So we've got this one's another Niantic Lightship question. Could this potentially work? The thing you worked on today, Nikisa, could this work with the Niantic Lightship ARDK?
Yeah, I can't imagine it not
Right?
working. It's pretty general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so as well. I mean, it'd be silly not to have it work
Yeah.
with it. So hopefully that helps there, Aaron. This one's from Louise. What happens if my graphics card cannot handle the Unity program? What do I do? That's you could invest in another computer. You could try not to render the experiences from Unity. I mean, you could still work with Unity, right? You just can't really
Mhm.
play the things
Yeah.
from Unity. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah. You'll have a hard time playing things, but like coding and creating stuff is probably no problem.
Yeah, yeah. Just when you're actually wanting to render those
Yeah.
experiences, so that's when you'll have an issue. So, I mean, the only thing I guess you could do is find another GPU, stronger GPU computer, upgrade your current PC if you can. That's probably the most budget friendly and affordable option. So that's what we would recommend, Louise. Hopefully that helps. This one's from Henry. Henry, if you're still here, where can I find the AR Pokemon Go assets?
You can find them in this project.
Nice. So we'll send that over. And then were there any assets in the asset store as well that you could riff off of? It's probably quite a few. The Unity asset store is massive.
Yeah, you can definitely use the asset store.
Yeah. So yeah, we will send it over. And then you can find a bunch of different ones on the asset store as well. So,
yeah, you can also use primitives too if you don't want to go through the asset store. You can just use a sphere. Perfect. Nice sphere. Nice sphere.
Perfect. Hopefully that helps, Harry. We've got another one here from Gustavo. Gustavo's asking, can I import SketchUp files, SKP models as assets?
You can use SketchUp files, but it has to be an FBX or OBJ.
I always hear about the FBX or OBJs.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're still tuned in here, Gustavo. Yes, you can use SketchUp files, but FBX or OBJ. Beauty. This one was from Fiona. Fiona's asking, can a MacBook run these types of files? Yes, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if it's AR type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So let's see. This one's from Wesley. Wesley, are there any resources for integrating geolocation and siphoning GPS data into this app? Like, for example, only spawning certain monsters in certain areas.
Yes, there is. There is a package on the Unity Asset Store called AR plus GPS. That's something you could use. You could also start to play around with Niantic's Lightship and poke around their examples there. I believe that they have examples of that. Yeah, there is that. There is also Mapbox.
Mapbox, yeah?
Yes.
Perfect. So take a look at those, Wesley. Hopefully that helped. Thanks, Nikisa.
Yeah.
This one's from Calvin, and I remember when I was first learning C# with you, Nikisa. What does bool mean? He never understood.
Bool. It's a bool. Boo. No, I'm just kidding. So a bool stands for Boolean. It's and a Boolean is just a variable that has two outcomes. It can either be true or false, a 1 or a 0. So using Booleans are useful for controlling logic, creating more advanced logic. If you have a series of Booleans, you create like an XOR gate or an AND gate. Using all those things. If you think about like completing a circuit with a light switch, if you complete the circuit and you have the light switch, it's broken, that's a 0. Turn it on, that's a 1.
Yeah, that's a good way to kind of picture it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Hopefully that helps, Calvin. Great question, though. Great question. This one is from Sam Ward. Sam Ward's asking, I'm not sure if this will be covered, but would you be able to have the game accessible or hosted on a web page so anyone with a phone can play? Also, to have a login function to be able to keep score, etc., would be amazing. Not sure how difficult that would be to implement. Thanks.
Well, guess what? You are in luck. There will be videos coming very soon, very shortly, all about expanding on this workshop, creating a Pokemon Go, and you have the swiping action, you have the saving of your monsters, and you have a little point system too.
Perfect. Hopefully that helps, Sam. But I'm interested in seeing that as well, Nikisa. Can't wait for it to come out.
Guess who's going to be the instructor?
You, the AR expert. Makes sense, right? Awesome. Let's see. Then we've got one from Hernando. Hernando is asking, is the line for AR plane for each? Yeah, for each. That's it. AR plane and plane manager trackables. Looking for all the planes in the scene, or only the ones that Origin can detect, using the update as suggested in this case? ?
So for all the planes that are detected, for each plane in the AR plane manager trackables, so every plane that is tracked by the AR plane manager is logged in a list. We can access that list through a for each loop. through the plane manager.trackables. The trackables is a list of all the planes that is tracked. So that for each loop, that line is detecting all the planes there. And then for each plane, or not for each plane, for one plane, if that plane's alignment horizontal is up, so it's facing up, then we're going to instantiate the thing. We're going to drop the monster on the plane.
Beauty. Thank you, Nikisa. Hernando, hopefully that helps. Great question. Great question. I couldn't read that first word. It was for each.
For each.
What a goof. You know, it's English third language. Don't judge me, everyone, okay? Perfect. So this one's from Cedric. Cedric, quick question. What is the alignment for plane trackables when you were working on it?
So the alignment is basically just saying where is this plane aligning to? Is it aligning to the up? Is it aligning down? Is it facing down? So are you looking at the down sort of plane? Is it detecting there? Or is it up? So it's basically just taking the normal of your plane and calculating if it's up or down.
Perfect. Great question, Cedric. Great question. Let's see. This one's from Francesca. Francesca is asking, do you have any recommendations for good Android emulators? I know there was one. I don't know if Jerry was using a great one.
An A power mirror?
Maybe. That does sound familiar. A power mirror, is that it?
Yeah, that's the one that I used too, but my trial ran out.
Like, no! Okay, I'll find the link here if you're still in the audience with us. Link is tossed in there. But feel free to reach out. I'm sure Jerry knows a bunch of other ones as well that we can share with you too. This one's from Mayank. Mayank's asking, why 0 and Get Touch 0?
Yes, good question. So we have a list of touches that are on the phone. So touch 0 is the very first touch on your phone. Index 0 starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, or X, whichever however many touches you have. So 0 is the very first touch.
Perfect. Awesome. We saw some Hernando and Dottie, Game Loop, Knox, BlueStacks, good Android emulators. So Francesca, support from the audience. Thank you so much, Hernando and Dottie. Let me just toss it in the chat there too. So check those out too. Could be useful as well. Thank you. Thank you. All right, getting closer to the end here. Let's see. And how are you doing on time, Nikisa? I know you've got
I'm
one-on-one
good.
classes,
I'm good for
courses.
time.
Are you okay? You're fine, hey?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I'd hate for a student to miss, something. So awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So we've got one from John. John's asking, does this type of AR demo work on Oculus Quest 2, or does Quest need a software change?
That would need a software change, and
even with the pass-through or whatever, the new little AR capability.
I mean, it's possible you could adapt it to an Oculus Quest with the pass-through and everything, but this will only work for mobile. I'm going to say that.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, not for head-mounted displays. Yeah. So you need to change some things up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. One from Monsieur Eric. Eric is asking, sorry if it was asked, new to Unity here, are there bindings for other languages like Python?
Yep, there's wrappers for that. There's wrappers for JavaScript. There's wrappers for Python. Some of them work well, some of them don't. So you can try any sort of plugin there on the Unity Asset Store.
Interesting. I actually didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
The more you know. Awesome. I love these workshops. Thank you. This one's from Sajen. Sajen, when will the rewind replay come in an email? Couple of hours from when we end it. We gotta download the recording, convert the recording, add it to the emails, project files, whatnot. So give us a couple of hours to work things out, but by the end of the day today is the goal. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so we answered Dolma's question with UX designers playing a role in AR, VR. Great question there, Dolma. Let's see. Eric Bubar, yes. Niantic just
Ooh.
released their development tools to integrate in Unity. Is that worth digging into at this point? I'm sure Nikisa would say yes, eh?
Yes, it
Hey.
is worth digging into. Absolutely. Bite
Perfect.
off
Well,
more than you can chew and chew it. What I did.
well, Eric, if you ever get a chance to play around with it, give us a shout. I'm sure I'm sure we could all learn some new things together with this new product and tool.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this one's from Saldivar. Saldivar's asking, do most of your students come with a computer science background? I'd actually say no.
Nope.
Uh, very little actually come in with a computer science background. A lot of designers, product designers, UI, UX designers,
Mhm.
architects, engineers, artists coming in looking to add to their tool bet. So eh, I wouldn't say that no students come in with a computer science background. There definitely are some, but it's not most. If anything, most of our students are new to development. They're previous designers coming from all different types of industries, even engineers, architects, medical professionals, you name it. You know, people are learning more about this stuff.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. I think I scrolled up a little too far here. Uh, guess what accent that was? Oh, let's go. Let's go. Uh, 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 Perfect. This one's from Osman. Osman, hi. When I create an AR scene with all the AR session, camera, session origin components, and just place a cube in front of my camera, then build to Android, the cube keeps jiggling and moving and isn't still. Any idea as to why this is happening? Anything would be helpful.
It depends. So you placed your cube in front of your camera. So is your cube a child of your camera? Because if it is, it'll always be in front of the camera. Now that being said, if it's not a child of the camera and it's just there and jiggling, you will see some jitter in your hologram. Holograms. That's for um, HoloLens. You will see some jitter with your placed object in AR. And if you don't want to see that, you can use spatial anchors, some AR anchors, to anchor that to a geological space in your scene. So that would help with the jittering and the jingling.
Yeah, so let us know, Osman. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully you're still tuned in. If not, always feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to explore these with you. But thanks,
Mhm.
Nikisa. That's helpful. Let's see. This one's from Emiliano. Emiliano's asking, how do you import the Unity project into your phone?
Oh, you just click on build and run,
And then
and
it all
it'll
just connects.
build
Yeah.
it and then launch it onto your device.
Beauty. Yeah, just kind of like you showed. There was that little the Monster app or whatever it was, right?
A little monster.
Hopefully that helps, Emiliano. Great question. This one's from Maxwell. Maxwell's asking, where can we download the scripts? So yeah,
Hmm.
great question. Feel free to take it away,
Yeah.
Nikisa.
So you will have access to the GitHub repository that I've just created for this project, where you can grab the repository, dig around a little bit, pull those scripts, and check it out.
Beauty. Beauty. Great question,
Yeah.
Maxwell. Let's see. This one is Dottie. Dottie, where can we continue to discuss AR and VR uses online? Where, if I'm not mistaken, I did see a Dottie message in our Slack not too long ago. So if you've got access to Slack, that's the place to be. There's a lot of different communities out there as well that you can check out. There's a lot of Discord channels. We've got our Slack community. Nikisa, anything that comes to your mind in terms of platforms?
To continue AR, VR uses online. There is a number of Reddit forums, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a number of Reddit forums. There's like Steam VR. There is like Unity Game Dev. There is uh, Oculus VR. Yeah.
Well,
Give me a
lots
Reddit.
of all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll share some with you as well. Hopefully that helps, Dottie.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one's from Ronald. Ronald's asking, what is the important thing to do to let me try that again. What is the important thing do we need to build a whole world like the metaverse? So that's a tough one. Even Facebook's on billion-dollar company is on the mission to build a whole world like the metaverse. So
Yeah, that's a big one.
it is. I mean,
Um,
you can start small with VR, right? It's a
yeah.
part of the metaverse. Build a little environment scene there,
Mhm.
and then grow it, and then maybe
Yeah.
that will be a environment that extends from the metaverse there.
Yeah, build an environment for what's that app that we use for our VR coffee hour?
It's not spatial, is it? Or
No, it's not spatial.
uh, uh, oh, yo, I know. I was playing around with it
Oh,
over the weekend too. I was in a club and everything, dancing around.
alt space.
Alt space. That's it.
Alt
Alt
space.
space.
Yeah, start there. Try building an environment for alt space.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great way to get started, and probably the most important thing to
Mhm.
do. Understanding the components of the metaverse, and even that's tough to kind of digest. But VR, that's one of probably the key extensions of the metaverse, and I'd say one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see. This one's from Mark. Mark. Hey guys, any good examples of AR VR within the fitness industry, and what software might be the best to
Yes.
utilize? Yes, yes.
There
Um,
is a free Oculus Fitness app. There is there's Supernatural. There it is. It's called Supernatural. It's like a VR fitness. It has the it even has like a
mhm.
regiment, and it's like full body aerobic, that type of things. There is Fit XR, I believe it's called Fit XR, which has
FitXR.
like
So like the
boxing
boxing?
in it, and
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
like yeah, and it has like some hit workouts.
Hmm.
Yeah, there is. What else is there? Beat Saber.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Yeah.
tires me out. I get
Oh
I get
yeah.
exhausted after a round of Beat Saber.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. Yeah, Beat Saber is good. There's some dancing games too. Was it like Dance Central?
Yeah, there's some of them. I haven't looked into too many. I know there's a boxing one, there's the hit one,
Yeah.
Beat Saber, but I'm sure there's so many out there as well.
Yeah.
So
There is. There is.
yeah, perfect, awesome. Let's say this one from Adrian. Adrian, being new to the AR VR space, what are the foundational programs for noobs to know?
Unity.
Yeah, Unity, C Sharp, uh,
Hmm.
Visual
Maybe
Studio.
some Unreal.
Yeah, Unreal as well. Stem into that afterwards. So
Hmm.
those are probably the most foundational things to get going with for AR and VR.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks. Great question, Adrian. Great question. So this is from Dottie. Do we answer it? No, we didn't. I'm desperate to develop socially improving and mental health AR VR apps. Any good suggestions for supportive communities to help me do this? Yes, I mean we here at Circus Stream would love to support you and share insights that we have
Mm.
with you. Dottie, what else could you look into? Socially improving mental health AR VR.
Hmm. There's some meditation apps.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think we've had a lot of alumni work on some like therapeutic uses and socially improving
Mm.
applications. So we could
Yeah.
look into some introductions there. Different groups, women in XR might be one to dive into as well. See if they've got any resources to share. But yeah, let us dig into that for you. See if we know any of our alumni to introduce you to. But even just joining our Slack, I think I might have seen you in there. So feel free to leverage that as you wish. All right, we are almost there. Let's see. Let's see. This one's from Benjamin. Benjamin's asking, instead of putting the model on a plane, could it be placed on a mesh from a point cloud?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it could. You can use any method you want for placing a model on a mesh. Um, you can use the LiDAR scanner off of iPhones and create like a mesh using that way. You can also use a HoloLens, create a mesh there. Yeah, you could do that, absolutely.
Perfect. Awesome. Great question. Great question. Let's see. I think I skipped too far. This one's on plane alignment. Cedric's asking, can you speak on the plane dot alignment you did for the ball class? Why is that necessary?
I believe I answered a similar question.
Yes, yes, I
I
think you
believe
did. Yeah,
so.
could have been
S
a
I did.
duplicate.
Yes. Okay. Okay, cool. So, well, I'll explain it again. Plane alignment is detecting whether your plane's normal is either pointing upwards or downwards. So we want to make sure that the plane alignment is pointing upwards. That way we are looking down at the plane and the plane is pointing up. And we want that plane and only that plane to be having a monster on it.
Right, right. Perfect. Thank you, Nikisa. This one's going to be interesting. I like this question from Andrew. Andrew's asking, what has been your favorite use of AR you have experienced so far? Um, I
Ooh.
mean, just a couple of ones that I can share. Google Maps AR helped me a lot to find like little speakeasies or hidden gems around Calgary that when I couldn't find them, just take it out, guides you right to it. One of our students, I think, worked on building an AR app to count your change. So you empty out all the change on your table, spread it around. You take out your phone, it captures, the coins and the change you have, and then it brings up the sum of the change you have in like a second. So I thought that was super nifty, time saving. Anything that comes up on your end for AR experience that you loved, Nikisa?
Yeah, there was actually, speaking of some AR stuff, we actually created, if I might share my screen, a little something something. And this is actually my favorite. So this is a student's final project. And this is like searching movies and where they were made, like what scenes were in what place. And he's searching movies here, movies that were filmed at City Hall. So these are all the movies that were filmed at City Hall in San Francisco. And then we have like you can search for movies. So where was Dirty Harry? Um, where was Dirty Harry filmed? And you can
Nice.
also search for actors. So Tom Hardy, what are his films and where are they? And then it'll bring up some there, Venom. So he was in Venom. And then you click on it and it shows up all of the places that Venom was filmed. And then it creates an AR tour and there it's connecting to Google Maps, Google Maps API to show you exactly where these places are. And then if you look around, you're looking around, looking, eventually when he turns around, he'll be able to spot where Venom was filmed. And boom, there it is. So Venom was filmed right in there on Grant Avenue in Green Springs, San
Hey,
Francisco.
that's cool. Look, Jack, eh? That's great.
Yeah, Jack is
Nice.
awesome. We had
That's
some
awesome.
real hard challenges there.
I can imagine.
Real hard challenges.
Wow. Very
But yeah,
cool. No,
yeah,
that's awesome. That's a great example of, what newbies can learn and build themselves with the support of great
yeah,
people like yourself, Nikisa. Thanks. That's awesome.
yeah.
Beauty. No, that's great. Awesome. Hopefully that helps, Andrew.
Mhm.
Let's say Fiona's got a question here. How to enroll myself to the extended course with UBC? Great question. Feel free to reach out to us here at Circuit Stream. You can go to UBC's website and apply there as well. Well, we'll reach out, answer any questions you have, and get the process started if all is well. So hopefully that helps there, Fiona. Let's see. This one's from Eric. Eric's asking from the chat in case it doesn't get through to the questions tab. How did you start an XR, Nikisa? Did you study programming in school? I kind of know this story, but tell us.
Ooh, I studied electrical engineering, so there was like some coding, not as in depth as like what I'm doing right now, but really, I was the right person at the right time at the right place, and I bit off more than I can chew and chewed it. That's how I got started.
And then
A
went
bunch of luck,
to learning,
bunch of
eh?
hard work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Perfect. Awesome. No, great question, Eric. I love always hearing my circuit stream stories from all around the world.
yeah.
Okay, let's see. So this one's from Michelle. Michelle is asking, is it true that creating experiences on Spark AR is only for the Facebook Meta platform? That I don't know. I myself don't know.
I don't have enough information to have an accurate answer for this.
Mm. Well, yeah, I'll look into it, Michelle, because I'm curious, and I'm sure
Yeah.
this won't be the only time I get this question. So great question. Let me
Yeah.
copy and paste that. Thank you,
Okay.
Michelle. Michelle
Yeah.
Hung. Got it. Okay. Boop. Sorry, let me just paste that in here. Michelle. Beauty. Awesome. Let's see. Let's see.
Man, there's a lot of questions.
I know, right? We've got 5 more, 6 more,
5 more. Okay, let's do
5
it.
more. All right, let's get her done. Sorry, you answered the question about whether this would work with an Oculus and said that what we did here wouldn't work with it. Would it work with any head mount, silver glass, etc.? Yeah, because it's really tailored for mobile. You'll
Yeah.
have to make some changes here and there and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that helps answer your question there, Kelsey. Okie dokie. Then one from Michelle, kind of similar to the one we just answered. Nikisa and Stefan, what are your backgrounds? How did you get into XR? Did you go to school for programming? So myself, I got into XR. I've always been interested in technology. I always wanted to be at the forefront, pioneer something new, kind of like the internet back in the day. Saw a great company called Circuit Stream in my hometown. Applied and it's been a few years now, just trucking along with everyone and spreading the love for the technology. So that's how I got into it. I studied business background, sports background as well. Hence why I'm kind of on the partnerships side of things at the moment. But Nikisa touched up on it briefly as well. Electrical engineering, bit off more than
Yep.
she could chew. Just studied
Yeah.
and learned as much as she could.
Trial through
Fabulous.
fire.
Great question, Michelle.
Yeah.
All right, this one we also kind of answered it as well. Can we use different programming language with Unity instead of C#? Yes, you can wrap it in and whatnot. Yep. So definitely, Sean, you can. Yep. C# is the main one. So,
Yeah.
but there are
Highly
workarounds.
recommend C# instead of JavaScript.
Yeah.
Or Python. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know Python, so I can't talk about it. Beauty. Okay, and then last 2 questions we have here, maybe last 2, 3. Would we be able to shift from C# to other frameworks like React JS or Angular for things like UX, UI for AR, etc.?
There is a way that you can use some React for your UI and UX. I believe that there's a plugin for that because the UI in Unity is pretty slow comparatively speaking. So I believe that there is a plugin for you to use React or native in Unity and connect to those things.
Right. Cool. Hopefully that helps, Ephraim. Great question, Effie. Let's see. I think this might be the last or second last. Can you share some resources to learn computer vision for AR for someone new to CV?
Ooh, you mean like OpenCV and TensorFlow?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yes. Ooh. Yes, there's absolutely some great resources to learn OpenCV and TensorFlow on Unity. There's a lot of tutorials if you just Google it. There's Valem, I think his name is. I think he's done some like OpenCV stuff. What else is there? That's all I know off the top of my head.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know too much, too many resources on computer vision. So sorry, Sarkar, sorry. Hopefully that Nikisa's insight helped a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Phelan has some like OpenCV stuff in Unity. I might be wrong.
Maybe.
Either way, Valen is a great resource.
Beauty. Awesome. And then last question from Patrice. Patrice is asking, can I use processing language and Unity?
Processing language.
I'm trying.
Trying to process a processing language.
Can I use to process? let's see.
What are they processing language?
Patrice, are you there?
Python?
Python. I mean, yeah. If it's the similar ones
Oh,
as before, then
yes.
yes.
Yes, I believe you can use a wrapper for Python.
Fabulous.
It'd be a good
Awesome.
idea to use C# though.
Right,
It's always
right.
good to learn it.
Awesome. So it looks like those were all the questions in the questions tab. Woo!
Woo!
C sharp, no Python, Ronald Reagan. Okay, awesome. Well, hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining another Circuit Stream workshop and webinar. We had massive attendance today. We still have hundreds of people tuned in at the moment. But Nikisa,
Yeah,
first of all,
dang.
Nikisa, thank you so much for your time here today, your expertise, your answers, your insights to all these questions. I really couldn't have done it without you. So thank you very much.
Aw,
I
thanks,
really appreciate
man.
it. Anytime. No,
Oh,
I love you. Thank you so much.
thanks.
Dayon backstage, thank you as well for supporting us, with everything. Shannon, if you're still tuned in here, thank you as well for supporting with all the questions and resources. To all you still tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. We do hope to see you on another Circuit Stream workshop and webinar. We do hold them weekly, most weeks at least. So do tune in. Reach out to us with any questions you have. We would love to have you with us in our courses and programs as well. If you have questions, please reach out. Check out our syllabi, apply if you're interested in anything, join more future workshops, check out our blogs, everything. We would love to help you all share the love, create more creators in the world. And again, thank you all for joining these workshops. And it's also without you, the lovely audience, we'd be presenting to no one. So thank you,
Oh, yeah.
everyone who is a part of this workshop.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, hey, have a
It's always,
great
always a pleasure.
afternoon, evening, morning for some people located abroad, night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for staying up. Have a great end to your day. Have a great night. Have a great morning. And we'll see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.